हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू थिंक मनी चैनल। ये हमारा दूसरा वीडियो है। वी लॉन्च्ड आवर वीडियो लास्ट वीक। वी लॉन्च्ड आवर चैनल लास्ट वीक, द चैनल थिंक मनी. If you're watching this video on this channel, thanks for coming back, thanks for subscribing. If you have not subscribed, feel free to subscribe, also share our feedback. So this is our second week on the channel. Last week we talked about my personal portfolio breakdown. I described how I have, survived my own personal finance journey, all the ups and downs, how my portfolio is constructed, and so on. If you haven't watched the last four videos, the first playlist is up there on the Think Money channel. You can go back and take a look. This video, we wanted to take a small pit stop in terms of our playlist creation. We did not want to create content on playlist basis. So this week, we wanted to focus on what has happened last week in the market. So we'll be doing a quick weekly recap. We'll also be talking about what is the buzz around market in the pre-budget season right now, as well as the result season is going on. The quarterly results are coming. A lot of companies have already declared their results, so we'll see what all things I am watching, and maybe you can borrow some learnings, borrow some information from this video, and that would be helpful for you. So what will we cover today in this video? We will cover a quick recap of how our first week of the YouTube channel has been. First week में क्या हुआ, how did the channel perform, channel कहाँ तक पहुंचा, कितने लोगों तक पहुंचा, कितने subscribers हैं हमारे as of now. We'll take a quick look at that, and I'll keep adding all of this information in every single video wherever possible, so that we are tracking our own growth. I think it is a good way of video journaling personally, so that every single video also reminds me how the channel is growing, how the content is growing. Second, we would also be diving deep into a very interesting personal achievement for mine. So somehow I got invited to a very exclusive event at Groww. So I was invited to their office and meet the founders and their product teams, their product leaders. So we'll take a quick snippet of that as well. We'll also see how the Nifty moved in terms of its price. July second week में Nifty कहाँ से कहाँ पहुंचा. If you recall, last week हमारे first video में we talked about Nifty had reached up to 24,000. So how Nifty is reacting after the 24,000 mark. अभी Nifty कहाँ पर है? Have we been able to figure out some kind of movement or not? And are we investing on that movement as of now? So we'll take a quick look on Nifty's price movement. We'll do a deep dive there as well. We'll also take a quick look about what kind of results are coming up. What are the companies that I am personally watching during this result season. It's going to be a very interesting quarter. We had an amazing run up last year, so it's going to be very very important कि आगे का momentum जो companies last year अच्छा perform करी हैं वो इस बार भी अच्छा perform करें. So we'll see whether some of those major companies, those watchlisted companies, how are they moving, कैसा performance आया है, जिनका भी result आ गया. And we'll also see how you can track all these companies who are declaring results, and you can plan some of your short-term investments or some of your trading positions accordingly. And ultimately we'll also talk about what is going on around with with the budget around the corner. I have a very interesting report that Axis Securities sent to me, so we'll do a deep dive there as well. Some of the sectors I've taken in terms of snippet from that report. We can't cover everything in one single video, and also I'm trying to squeeze out time, squeeze down the time. So we'll try to keep this video very very crisp. So let's jump right into it. Moving on. So yes, I think this is the the most important part to begin the video. We launched our channel Think Money last week. Think Money जो channel है, इस channel को start करने का decision बहुत ही I would say बहुत ही पर्सनल ट्रिगर के बेसिस पे था. आई हैव बीन a fintech buff, a personal finance buff, very very enthusiastic about teaching personal finances to people who are new. So I think money एक ऐसा मीडियम है, एक ऐसा माध्यम है through I can reach out to more and more people. So I'm just trying to be a little innovative here. I'm not trying to follow a blueprint कि YouTube channel कैसे बनता है, क्या content डालना चाहिए and all that. I'll be trying to play around with my own flavor, my own expertise, and let's see how it goes. So yeah, quick recap of week one. So week one, we were able to reach to close to 13,000 impressions. So wherever I distributed the links, be it my alumni forums, my IIT circles, my college company networks, etc. My friends of friends and all of that, friends family network. We were able to reach 13,000 impressions. That's a good number, I would say. I would say absolute organic content, no push in terms of monetary spend. So 13,000 people reaching in the first week is good enough. Out of that 13,000 people, we have been able to generate 5.7% CTR. CTR is click through rate. तो कितने लोगों को आपका लिंक दिखा, उसमें से कितने लोगों ने आपका लिंक क्लिक किया. 6% rough CTR is a very very healthy number. I'm also talking to a lot of people who have done social media analytics, who have done YouTube content creation and all, to also try to benchmark my own performance. Although I'm very very new, very very nascent, so not going to obsess over this number. But yeah, we'll keep adding all these numbers every time we get a chance, so that we are reflecting upon our journey, and this is a good medium of journaling our own journey. Yeah, so 13,000 impressions, close to 1,000 views, total views across 4 videos. So that was the first playlist. पहली playlist हमने डाली थी my personal portfolio breakdown. The video was shot during a live session that I took for my own community members, Classic Compounders, the community that I run. And the session was broken down into 4 videos, part 1 to part 4. Those who are watching this video for the first time, if you haven't watched the playlist number 1, which is portfolio breakdown, go ahead and watch that. I think you'll get to learn some insightful things from there. Out of close to 1,000 cumulative views, there have been 650 odd unique viewers, and out of those 650 odd unique viewers, we have been able to clock 108 subscribers so far, which roughly boils down to 16.5 subscription rate. I think the numbers are pretty decent compared to I don't have any benchmark, to be very honest, but yeah, first week, good numbers. Now my plan for coming weeks would be to create my own blueprint. I'm not following anyone's blueprint, so my plan is to remain consistent, do some experimentation around themes. So I'll keep adding more and more themes, so that the content that I put out on the YouTube channel has a spectrum. It is not only specifically targeted for beginners or advanced folks or intermediate folks. I'll try to play around with the themes, and that's why the channel talks about in the banner itself that there are 3 key themes. We'll talk about personal finance, we'll talk about investing, and we'll talk about startups in this journey. Beyond consistency, theme, and relatability, I think the other key factor for the plan to move ahead would be to work on distribution and reach as well. I come with a fortunate network. I have a good enough social capital that I come and associate with. So I think my plan would be to also sort of capitalize on that and try to enhance the distribution and reach of this channel. Okay, moving ahead, I think I wanted to also give a quick snapshot of what kind of initial feedback that I've received from friends, family, and the larger audience wherever people have been exposed to my channel being launched. I think broadly everyone has been very very encouraging in terms of giving me kudos to starting a channel, taking that leap of faith. I think it is a very very responsible journey also. So I think with all the love, I feel a lot of gratitude, but moving forward, I think I am not getting any exaggeration from all of this, getting flabbergasted from all of this. So keeping my heads down and trying to create content which is worthy enough and creates value for the audiences. Moving on, I think last week a very key highlight of my professional career also, or sort of a personal finance career also happened. Somehow I landed an exclusive invitation from Groww. I think at first when I received this WhatsApp message, the WhatsApp invite directly from Groww, I thought it was a promotional message. They are inviting a lot of people, but when I filled up the form, I realized that they have invited a very few people from Bangalore to their office. So since I was present in Bangalore, I think I got invited also because I'm a very very active investor at Groww. I almost use it every single market day. So yeah, landed a very great opportunity to visit their office and also see how the teams are working, how the product is built. जानने को मिला कि ग्रो एज अ प्रोडक्ट फंक्शन कैसे करता है, कितने लोग काम करते हैं, हाउ बिग द ऑफिस इज, हाउ मेनी टीम्स आर देयर, हाउ मेनी पीपल आर वर्किंग ऑन different things. So all in all, it was a very great moment. We spent close to 3 hours. I also had a very little fanboy moment of mine. I got to meet Lalit, whom I admire a lot. He's the founder of Groww. He has been phenomenal in terms of taking Groww to such big heights. Got a very interesting book on investing signed by Lalit himself. All in all, a very great event. Spent a lot of time with their product team. Spent a lot of time with their VP product, their content head, and give a lot of feedback around what kind of things they should do, what kind of initiatives they should do. A lot of product feedbacks I personally had, and I had collated also some feedback from the community. मैं जिन जिन community का part हूँ, जो community मैं run करता हूँ, I gathered a lot of feedback from those community and tried to put it down. And share it across with the Groww team. So I think they were very very appreciative of that. They took a note of lot of feedbacks, and बहुत सारी चीजें उन्होंने pick कर रखी हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें pick करेंगे. But yeah, it was a very very interesting experience. Very a key highlight of my personal finance journey. Will remember this all the time throughout my personal investment career. So yeah, just wanted to share this moment with all of you. Moving on, we'll do a quick recap of how Nifty moved last week. Because 7 days or a last 7 days or a week recap is something that I can't show on 7 candlestick chart. So hence I've boiled down the chart to an hourly time frame so that you can see more candles. So taking a look, what we can see is Nifty was little bit volatile after July beginning. It was going up, coming down on an hourly basis. But what you can see is on 10th it dropped sharply. There was a roughly 200 to approximately 240 250 points fall. It recovered sometime in the last few hours also, but it was an interesting opportunity for those people who actively watch the market to do some kind of shorts, buy some puts, and ride on some kind of FNO gains, future and options gains also. Those who are not into FNO, please don't try to get into it without understanding the basics, without taking a specific course on it, or without learning it. But yeah, I got an interesting opportunity. I shared it with my personal community members also. So whenever I see there's a significant dip on a particular day, because I'm an active watcher of how the Nifty or the market is moving, so I shared to my community on that particular day that hey, market has dropped few significant points. So if someone is looking to accumulate mutual funds or buy the dip, they can do it on that particular day. All in all, it's not an investment advice. I'm just reflecting upon how I'm doing my personal investment decisions. So yes, on this particular moment, on 10th of July, I added some of my mutual funds. We'll take a quick look on what kind of mutual funds I added and how's my portfolio mix of mutual funds is currently currently situated at. So yeah, talking about mutual fund mix, the first table talks about what kind of mutual fund themes or indices I'm currently investing in. So you can see broadly Nifty 50, mid cap, small cap, flexi, and multi. These are the 5 themes or indices that I'm currently following. Why 5? Because I feel that each one of them has their own growth potential, their own momentum while the markets are growing. Nifty 50 you can blindly follow because it's the market index. The XIRR numbers are the XIRR that I have generated on my portfolio from that particular theme or index over a period of time. You can go back and watch my portfolio breakdown to understand how my mutual fund portfolio has been constructed. So yeah, on 10th of July, I realized that yes, there was a significant dip on a particular day. It quickly regained also, but since I'm an active watcher of the market, I do follow it every single day. So I realized that there was an opportunity and I invested some part of my buy the dip fund on that particular day. So a lot of you would have also heard in my previous video that now my portfolio is not just my portfolio, it's an household income portfolio. So yes, there's an account that I manage, there's an account that my wife manages. So just showing a snippet of what kind of funds we added on 10th of July. The amount doesn't matter, it just reflects that what's the strategy, what are the themes and indices that I'm currently betting on. The XIRR contribution and parts table is just an indicator of what is the ratio in which I add in these mutual funds. So for example, if I have to add 100 rupees, I'll distribute it in this ratio: 2 parts in Nifty 50, 1.5 part in mid cap, 1 part in small cap, 2 parts in flexi, and 2 parts in multi. So it's also very very important to understand that you should have a strategy, you should have an approach to how you should spread your bets. My current spread is dependent upon what kind of XIRR I have generated in the past, what kind of potential gain I foresee in that particular theme or index moving forward. In terms of strategy, I am currently in a transition phase. I talked about in the previous video that I'm migrating from an only buy the dip kind of an investor to a hybrid mode where I'll be continuing an SIP and a lump sum. So I've still not started my SIP. I'm continuing the lump sum, but the lump sums amount have reduced. So I'm breaking my lump sum from a bigger amount to smaller chunks, and that's how it's kind of hybrid still. But I'll be starting my SIPs very quickly. Whenever I do, I'll do mention it in some of the upcoming videos, so you can be updated about that as well. The second strategy is that my diversification continues. I'm concentrating on the number of mutual fund houses that I'm currently investing in, so that there are not a lot of mutual fund houses or number of funds going on increasing. So I'm concentrating on number of mutual fund houses while my diversification in terms of index and theme continues. In terms of my rebalancing, I talked about my mutual fund portfolio being quite heavily over diversified at this point in time. So my target is to do a heavy rebalancing of my personal mutual fund portfolio probably by September 2023. I'm so sorry for the typo. September 2024. I'm waiting for this particular quarter to end so that the budget season gets absorbed, the quarterly result season gets absorbed, and then I can also assess the mutual funds with a peace of mind, with some time, taking out some time, and then go with a full-fledged rebalancing. All in all, it's not an investment advice. I'm just reflecting upon my own personal investment decisions and sharing it with you guys. Okay, moving on. So what's going on this result season and what I am watching this week? So I think I just wanted to take a detour from the presentation mode and show you how I am tracking events personally. So those who use Groww, I think it is a very interesting platform where you can track all the events, quarterly results, company board meetings, or any kind of news based events or major events for a particular company that happens and kind of impacts that particular company's or stock's performance in the market. You can sort of track it in one single place. So Groww has actually come up with this feature called events. So they have launched a product or a feature called event, where you can go and you can watch all the events, you can filter out stocks, you can watch events for your watch listed stocks, you can check out the events for your holding stocks, and so on. So I prefer to use web, the desktop view for this particular feature. Going into events, I'll quickly show you how does it look inside. If you haven't checked out this feature, you can simply use your own Groww account and explore it on your own. But yeah, trying to give you a quick run through of how the platform looks like and what kind of stocks I'm watching in this result season. So yeah, this particular week, 14 to 29, so there are the next 2 weeks, what is going to happen. I can see a filter for my watch listed stocks and my holding stocks, what kind of events I can filter. So if there are some dividend announcements coming up, there are bonus announcements or split announcements, all of that, and market cap basis, and there's a stock search bar as well. So let's take a quick look at what kind of companies are announcing results this week. So let's go for results as the filter. I don't want to focus on dividend, bonus, split at the moment. In terms of result, let's look out for who are the major companies who are announcing their results. Instead of upcoming results, let's take a quick look back at who have announced their results last week. Okay, so let's look out for some interesting names. I think very recently, if we go, let's go back in terms of date. Very recently, TCS has announced their results, and it moved quite a lot last week. Nifty IT index also moved quite a bit about because of that. Avenue Supermarts, we can check. Then we can take a quick look at Anand, Rathi, TCS. I think these three should be good enough for a quick deep dive. Okay, let's not waste more time. So yeah, you can check out the stock events feature, stock events web view on Groww to follow all the latest events related to all the stocks. So doing a deep dive in terms of TCS, let's go and check out how the TCS results have been. So I usually prefer Screener to check out all the quarterly results, how the numbers have been moving. So let's check out Tata Consulting. Tata Consultancy Services. Okay, taking a look, the stock is currently with a PE of 32, not very bad. We can check a trend of how the PE has grown. The PE has, on its peak, during the COVID IT boom. The During the COVID, we knew that there was a huge IT bull run. So the peak P that we observed was somewhere around 40, 42. Currently, it is 32. So I think it is reasonably hovering. It's not very overvalued as of now. Let's look at the price also, and we'll take a quick look at the chart also, and why I'm watching this particular stock. So you can see the stock has recently, from roughly from Feb to now, has given a rounding bottom kind of a price pattern. Huge buying happened somewhere in middle of March, 15th of March. A lot of people were buying. A lot of capital infusion happened in TCS. Currently it is hovering somewhere around 4200. Let's take a quick look at its price chart. So yeah, there are some levels marked on my chart for TCS also. I prefer using Groww only for drawings, or marking any levels on the chart. So I'll take a thorough session on technical analysis, and try to also teach you guys how to use charts, how to mark levels and so on, to understand price dynamics. But yeah, coming back, let's see what happened with TCS. So TCS, we see that with roughly around October, November last year, the price had fallen sharply somewhere around its 200-day moving average. Then it rose sharply again. So this was kind of a bull phase. For TCS, it grew somewhere around 20-25% in this particular period, and then it went into some kind of consolidation. After that, there had been a consolidation here, somewhere around 3,800 to 4,000 kind of a level. So you can see the price was not moving much. There was a brief phase in which the price had dropped sharply as well. Could also be because of poor quarterly results. We might have to go back and check in time, but that does not really matter. But yes, we saw that the results have come in last week, and there has been a huge breakout. So huge buying volume, something that this kind of a volume has never existed in the past. I don't know when last people were buying at this particular level. So it has been a huge buying day for TCS. The price has moved significantly. In one particular session, price has moved roughly 5%. 5% for TCS is a huge thing. TCS is a heavyweight in Nifty IT. It's a Nifty 50 company as well, a large cap company, much relatively stable in terms of pricing and valuation. But yeah, so why I'm watching TCS is because TCS has a lot of contribution in Nifty IT. So if we have to talk about how IT index is moving, I'll quickly show you. So sorry about this. Let's Okay, so coming back, why we are watching TCS is because TCS is a heavyweight in the Nifty IT index. It's also a large cap company, fairly stable in terms of its price volatility and its valuation. If we see, TCS has given a huge breakout after the quarterly result announcement. Let's take a quick look at its results. So yeah, I think overall revenue has gone up. Profits are relatively lesser. I think all in all, the company has been able to demonstrate some kind of stability. If we take a look at between last March June quarter and this March June quarter, last March June had experienced a significant dip in terms of its profit. This time it's not that much. I think the company has been able to substantially grow, or uphold its revenue. So I think the market has reacted to that as well. In terms of PNL, if we see overall, I think this particular year is going to be strong for TCS in terms of its price performance, in terms of its fundamental performance. We'll do a quick deep dive in terms of how to assess fundamentals of a company, or technicals of a company, in a separate video. But yeah, why I'm watching TCS is because TCS is a very very interesting contributor for Nifty IT index. How do I track Nifty IT index? Is through an ETF called ITBEES by Nippon. If we look at how ITBs have performed, you will be able to see the way TCS or HCL, these kind of IT companies move. It gives a huge, it reflects a huge movement in ITBs as well. Just excuse me for the internet. Yeah. Okay, taking a quick look at ITBs, we also see that ITBs also has given kind of a rounding bottom, and now it's reaching a breakout. So it becomes a very very interesting phase for IT index as well. So I'm a significant, and I invest significantly in indices. So IT index is something that I handpick also whenever I get an opportunity. So IT index is something that I'm watching. We can see that there is a quick rebound of the levels of price in IT index. It has reached its previous all-time high, and I think it's going to break this particular level very very soon. So it's going to be very interesting in terms of percentages. If we see the price to the lowest of this particular rounding bottom was somewhere around minus 16%. Usually the rounding bottoms, whenever they bounce back, it gives roughly around 2x of the returns from here. Again, it's a theoretical return that one can expect. It does not mean that the market will actually give you that kind of a return. So even if we take somewhere around 30% from here, IT index will roughly touch 55, 56 kind of a level from where it is right now. Massive 30% uptick from here. So it is a very very crucial point for IT index at this point in time, and that is why I'm watching TCS very very closely. Again, because it is one of the biggest contributors in the IT index. Moving on, the second important result last week was from a company called Anand Rathi. Let's take a quick look at how Anand Rathi results have performed. Okay, taking a quick look at Anand Rathi. Anand Rathi is currently holding at 68p, which is massive. I think it is less, I think it is quite overvalued at this point in time in terms of its P. But yeah, looking at its PE is also, sort of hovering around at high levels. The historical PEs have been much, much lower. Looking at the price had given a huge bull run up during mid of 2023 until late 2024, mid 2024. Now it has gone into a price consolidation phase. We'll take a quick look at its technical chart also. Let's take a look at its technical chart as well. So we can see that there is a consolidation phase here. Why I am watching Anand Rathi is very interesting, because Anand Rathi is a wealth management firm. So if India earns, wealth management firms earn. It's a very very symbiotic relationship. There is no other relationship that exists for wealth management companies. So I think it is going to be a very very strong contender for a huge run up in near short term. I think the price is consolidating because it had already given a huge run up. So if we see, the price was moving quite significantly from here to here, then again from here to here. So there has been no stopping. There was some kind of a consolidation phase here. So we know that one momentum, one consolidation, one momentum, one consolidation. This consolidation phase is roughly larger compared to the previous consolidation phase. If we talk about this consolidation phase, it lasted around 2 months, 60 days. This particular consolidation phase has lasted somewhere around 160 days, which roughly is around close to 5 months so far. But I think Anand Rathi is going to be very very critical to watch in the coming time. So you can add to your watch list and keep monitoring its price movement, and whenever you feel the time is right, you can start adding it. I'm watching it very, very closely. Next one is Avenue Supermarts. Avenue Supermarts is technically nothing but DMart. We all know how the consumption story of India is unfolding. So yeah, Avenue Supermart also is one significant FMCG player. Looking at its price, the price was consolidating, going down, coming up. Has been very, very volatile recently. From May to June, it has gone up from 4,300 to 5,000 and come down sharply, and now sort of consolidating. But I think the momentum is showing up in the recent few weeks. The buying has also started happening. The volumes, we can see the volumes, the average volumes have started improving. The P is enormously high. 121 P is something which is not good. Let's take a quick look at the quarterly results. Okay, wow. So 12.7k to 14,000 crores. That is a very significant improvement. The operating profits have also improved quite a lot. Um, they are also a healthy margin. The profits have improved quite a lot. If we look at March June last year versus March June this year, the gains are significantly, they have improved. Now let's go back and check how it is reflecting on the price. Let's look at DMart on the price chart. Okay, very interesting. Let's try to look at its monthly chart first. The monthly chart has kind of given a W kind of a pattern. If you look at this, it will be somewhat kind of a W pattern for you. But I think if we look at the weekly pattern gives you a much more detailed picture. Let's take a look. I think there is no significant pattern. However, we can see that there has been decent momentum here recently. Let's go into daily chart and see if the momentum is holding. Yes, the momentum channel is holding. Let's fine tune it. Okay, so the momentum channel is holding. We saw that the momentum channel started somewhere in the late March this year. It gave a breakout. It gave a breakout somewhere around this particular level. Yes, this particular level was 4,200. After 4,200, there has been no looking back except this particular dip, which would have been the election dip. Yes. So after that, I think there was a quick pullback. The price is holding, the momentum is holding. So I think Avenue Supermart is also a good contender if you are looking for some stocks for your momentum trading. I think I will be including this in my momentum watch list. Yeah, all in all, it looks good. In terms of upside, I think there's a lot of upside available. If you look at the previous high, it was roughly around 5,600. Even talking about from the price of uh, current levels, there is a roughly 13 to 14% kind of an uptick available from here. So I think good momentum. But I think it will have to be, you'll have to be patient with this particular stock. It won't give run ups like railway or defense stocks. FMCG stocks are known to be slow moving, so you have to be patient enough to ride this particular momentum. But yeah, the momentum exists. It is clearly visible. It is clearly visible. Okay, coming back to where we left, I think we covered, how we are tracking the results through Grow events. You can go ahead and check that out. Now, moving forward, talking about, what has been going in the market around pre-budget buzz. So there are a lot of sectors where lot of gains have been witnessed. Some of the sectors have just, sort of hinted with the emojis. You can, try to guess it. Talking about the pre-budget buzz, I am currently following, research reports around, what kind of expected movements are, what kind of expectations are there around sectors, new themes to play around, and what kind of expectations are there with the government. We had an interim budget this year also that indicated, what's the current government's focus is going to be. However, after the election results and how the political landscape has, uh, kind of changed, I think that is going to impact the budget and the construct of the budget quite a bit. But yeah, so moving forward, I think what I've tried to do is I've tried to take a source from Access Securities report. This is something that I received through Access Securities on my personal email. So I've just tried to show some snippets from their research report around pre-budget expectations. This particular slide talks about the sectors or budget that you can call, the kind of estimates that were there in the previous fiscal year, what were the revisions made on those estimates, and what are the estimates this year, and in terms of the delta, the kind of increase or decrease that the budget is, the expected budget is going to show on those particular sectors. It denotes, how the current government is looking at these particular different sectors. So we can see that, the biggest drawdown is going to happen on smart cities. The biggest increase is going to on Sagarmala ports, shipping. Um, Aviation is also cutting down a bit. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is also cutting down a bit. Awas Yojana, so housing and infra is going to play out quite a lot. Jal Shakti, so water distribution, pipelines, all of that. Power is a very, very strong sector, 16% expected increase over last year budget. Urban development, again, infra, very, very heavy. Swachh Bharat around cleanliness, maybe renewable energy is also a sub part of this. So I think all of this is going to play a very, very important role. Railways are also, sitting at healthy 5% delta. In terms, all of these numbers are expected, guys, because this is not official, this is not rolled out, but I'm taking an authentic author for drawing inspiration, or taking inputs. So yes, Axis Securities is the author. What we also see is that I have just try to put up some snippets of a few sectors. I can't put all the sectors in one particular video. So talking about some of the sectors that I am particularly bullish about, I am watching very, very closely. One is banking finance. Banking and finance, I think it is going to be very, very interesting this year, is because banks are going to play on capex theme this year, I think. And I think Axis is also talking about that quite a lot. I think penetration for banks is going to increase. PSU banks have recently started giving a quick run up. Those who have invested in PSU banks, you would have seen how Canara Bank, how Bank of Baroda, these kind of banks have started gaining very, very significantly in this in the recent times. State Bank of India continues to be a very, very strong contender. HDFC is currently under a price correction. We might look at HDFC's chart in some of the upcoming videos. HDFC continues to be something which is there, a part of my significant part of my current portfolios, short term as well as long term. So HDFC is something that I continue to be bullish about. All in all, I think PSU banks is going to be interesting sector, as well as FinServ or financial services companies are also going to be very, very interesting space. Another interesting space that I have a personal inclination towards is small finance banks, because my workplace revolves around distribution of FDs from small finance banks. So yes, there is kind of significant growth and development of those small finance banks trying to tap into expanding their markets, expanding their consumer base. So I think it's going to play out in their favor, in terms of their numbers, in terms of their books becoming more and more healthier. So yeah, that is going to be how the expectations are for banking sector. Cement is going to be another important sector. I think cement is undergoing huge capex revamp. I think a lot of companies like Ultratech, Ambuja, Adani has already started investing after acquiring all those cement plants. I think Ultratech and Adani is going to be the key players moving forward. And is if government is going to spend on infra, I think cement is the biggest beneficiary for that. So cement is going to be a key sector for us to watch this particular budget season and post budget as well. I think apart from that, power ancillaries, utilities, power as an overall sector, and power ancillaries as a sector is going to be very, very interesting to watch as well. Distribution of power, distribution of energy is going to be a focus theme for the government to in the particular budget to come. So I think this is also a very, very interesting space to watch. I am also watching some of the companies like JSW Energy, Tata Power. All of these companies, they are there in my watch list. Inox Wind is a very interesting company. I have visited one of the plants myself as well. So Inox Wind is also something which I personally have in my watch list. I have not added any of these positions as of now. One interesting company on this particular slide is also mentioned as Sterling and Wilson Renewable Energy. So it is also a Reliance major holding company. So you can watch and study this particular company as well. So all of these companies are going to be very, very interesting with the budget season. Apart from this, real estate, as infra is going, urban development is growing. I think infra and real estate are going to be very, very interesting theme also to watch. Housing companies, real estate developers, all of these people will be very, very key to watch. Big beneficiaries of how the upcoming budget allocates to real estate and infra. IT is also going to be a very interesting theme. We have already watched how TCS gave a huge breakout following its decent results, with revenue and profits upholding. I think with the recent price hike in telecom services with Vodafone, Jio and Airtel, you could see that there could be some kind of consumer or market share mix which might change in coming days because of how the pricing is being managed by these companies. But overall, all in all, I see that the revenues for these companies are going to grow multifold because the pricing has completely changed the game now. So uh, Airtel, Reliance, Jio, Vodafone, all these companies are going to be, very interesting to watch. Again, IT companies, all of the IT companies, the major large cap blue chip IT companies I'm watching is TCS, HCL, Infosys, and Wipro. All these also watch. I'm also watching very closely the IT index, which is the ITBEES by Nippon Group. So you can watch that also. Uh, yeah, talking about all these sectors, I think all in all, the upcoming budget season is going to be very interesting to watch. We'll do a dedicated video on how the budget season is shaping up, and when the budget is also going to get announced, we'll do a detailed video on that as well. Uh, Wrapping up today's video, will be coming up in few weeks, dropping a lot of different themes in terms of our videos. I think one key theme for coming few days would be budget. As we talked about, we took a quick look at how pre-budget buzz is shaping up in the market. We'll also do a live stock screening session. So this is something that I would be doing exclusively for my community, which is classic compounder community. If you are interested in joining that community, you can check out the group link in the description. I'll try to add it. I am not sure whether YouTube would allow me to add the WhatsApp group link here or not, but yeah, I'll try to add it. And if you can get access to it, happy to have you a member over there, and we'll do a live stock screening session probably next week. I have gotten a lot of demands after my channel launch, that I talked a lot about how my small case journey was and how small cases helped me took on to that equity journey myself personally. So I think I'll also start teaching small cases. It's not a rocket science, it's just an app, it's just a platform. But I think a lot of people have that friction of exploring new things. So I think I'll try to break down small cases and do a small case 101 series, where I'll try to teach how you can create your own small case journey, how you can start into equities yourself. And apart from the broader all these themes, the broader theme of the channel is also to talk about startups beyond investments and personal finance. So I think one of the series that I would take up is breaking down the startups that I am passionate about or I closely watch. So one of the few videos that I'm planning is going to be around to break down neobanks, the neo banking apps that have come in recent times, how they are being built for the new age consumers, and what are the pros, cons, advantage, disadvantages of these neobanks, and how are they shaping up, and whether they make sense in this particular era for us as a consumer or not. So yeah, all in all, that's all for this particular week. Thank you so much. We'll get back very, very soon in the next playlist. uh, okay, see you soon.